damn! Just damn. Sorry folks, the whole world is closed. The moose out front should have told you. This is biblical. This is something that you think only exists in apocalyptic novels and such. And when I say that, I mean unprecedented. I've seen other big outbreaks come and go over the years. SARS, Ebola, West Nile, H1N1. I mean, when news of this thing started to break out back in December or so, we went on making memes about it as usual. And we kept getting more news about it and how it causes and spreads. And still we just kept thinking, oh, this is just another flu. People die from the flu every day. What's the big deal? And then more news of it kept coming up. And it went on to an outbreak, to an international emergency, to a global pandemic. Italy pretty much went on lockdown. One of my favorite bands, Lacuna Coil, who hail from there, had to cancel a tour because of it. Even President Trump halted all travel from Europe for 30 days to prevent the risk of spread. And now, as of me recording this, Trump has declared a national state of emergency. A day before, seemingly all in one day, everything just started shutting down. All the major sports had to pause their seasons. MLB spring training was suspended. The NBA and NHL are nearing the end of their regular season just in time for playoffs to start. As this is an ongoing thing, things will either go back to business within a few weeks or be canceled outright. Will there be a Stanley Cup champion? Will the Lakers win one for Kobe this year? Who knows at this point? There's even speculation that WrestleMania, the biggest WWE show of the year, will either suffer the same fate or it'll probably just get moved to a later date. It wasn't just professional sports. College sports, major and minor youth sports have also been affected. Personally, I know a lot of youth hockey club organizations were in the middle of playoffs. And I know a lot of people and players who are devastated because their regional or national playoff run had to end prematurely. And this is amateur stuff, and if you're playing club amateur, you're paying a lot of money to play an entire season. Kids who are aging out completely just unknowingly had played their final games, and teams who had enjoyed a successful season that began 6 to 9 months prior just had the rug pulled out from under them. Parents who spend money on these seasons go anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for these seasons. So a lot of parents are hoping they can get a chance to at least play for their respective championships on a later date, but it's unlikely at this point. Not to mention, all the major tourist attractions like Disneyland, Universal Studios have all shut down. Imagine planning a trip and then finding out when you landed that the places are closed. A lot of jobs, especially those who deal with the public, have been told, sorry, you're not coming to work until further notice. Which sucks for me because I work one of those jobs. So yeah, seems like the world is closed now. Of course, the major question is, why? Is this thing so devastating that this is the one, after so many others before it, that finally shuts down our country and screws so many people out of work? Does this really warrant all the idiots who hoard toilet paper? I mean, we've had the flu kill more people within this amount of time than COVID-19 has. Other viruses that are part of the same family have killed more, or were more contagious, or have had higher mortality rates. And we still continued on as normal. This thing has been around for 4 months. Globally, COVID-19 within 4 months has killed about 5,000, and we have a whopping 41 deaths in the United States alone. This coming straight from the CDC website. What about H1N1? In 2009, that last big flu pandemic, within 8 months killed 300,000 people worldwide, with about 12,500 deaths in the US alone. No shutdown there. No major league shutdowns or tourist attractions or mass hoarding went on that time. Ebola in 2014 and 2016 claimed more lives too, as does the seasonal flu every year. But oh wait, apparently COVID-19 is more contagious and more dangerous than the flu. And it's spread by airborne droplets or touching contaminated crap and not washing your hands. The fact that we have to treat basic hygiene as an accomplishment nowadays, that just says something about how moronic society is. Supposedly this thing can survive outside the body much longer than normal. Most people who do get it actually don't get sick at all but can still spread it to someone who does. Unfortunately, that's just something that happens with any illness. Schools, airports, parks, tourist venues, especially cruise ships and other passenger vehicles with recirculating air, Any place that has a large gathering of people are just cesspools for this crap. And it's not just coronavirus. Given how many people I interact with at my job, it's amazing I don't catch things. I don't claim to know everything about COVID-19. And I'm not saying that this is not a big deal. The CDC has all the information on their website, and they, of course, are the ones to recommend preventing mass gatherings and travel. So I'm not the one to say you shouldn't shut down things in an attempt to prevent the spread and keep things under control. Many of my colleagues were relieved when we were told not to report, as they were afraid of getting sick. But you know what? If I was given the choice to continue working, I would have continued working. Even if I know the risk, I would have continued working. I'm not one to say that this closure is the right thing to do. But I do think that this mass panic is ridiculous. You can quarantine yourself all you want, but you just never know that you had it until it happens. And you could have contracted it days or even weeks ago. Ran out of toilet paper? Just go buy a candy bar at Walgreens. Their receipts are long enough. Or you can always wipe your ass with merchandise of a team you despise. This thing came from China. You know how many people fly into and out of China every day? Maybe China should have gotten this information out a lot sooner than after this crap spread to other countries. Maybe we would have helped contain it and prevent the spread. Will this be the president going forward? This will not be the last time a coronavirus spreads and causes another outbreak. We seem to get a new strain of it every couple of years, on top of the regular seasonal flu. So what, every year we have to shut down major sports? We have to shut down all the major tourist attractions just when tourist season is just starting? People have to pay their bills. Some of us actually like our jobs and hate not being able to work for a few weeks. And you know what? Doesn't matter whether or not I can get unemployment insurance or whatever. My car payments and all my other bills don't care one way or the other if I'm working or not. Maybe this is a wake-up call. Maybe once this thing dies down, whenever that will be, new procedures will be set in place to quarantine and prevent the spread of other diseases, especially in first world countries, but time will only tell. For those who are affected by the shutdown, just stay strong and vigilant. Earth may be shut down, but the rest of the universe doesn't care one way or another how Earth's inhabitants are. And we could all die tomorrow from an unrelated natural disaster, an undetected asteroid, or even a gamma ray burst. That's all I gotta say about this. I'm your heavy metal astronomer, Desert Coyote 22. Thanks for listening.